And then he begins to lay out some choices for people to build their life upon as a follower of Christ, as a believer. And so let me read that to you. This is going to be, I know we'll get through verses 4 through 5 today, and we might tackle verses 9 and 10. We'll see how time goes. So verse 4, coming to him as to a living stone, rejected indeed by men, but chosen by God and precious. Now he's talking about Jesus Christ here. And then he goes on, now he's about to transition talking about Christ to talking about the reader. You also, as living stones, are being built up a spiritual house, a holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. So these are the choices right here. And the reason I say choices, Peter is saying what we should be as believers, but when it comes down to what we really are, it's really a byproduct of choice. God could tell us all day long what we should be, but what we really become is a byproduct of choice. Like God can say you should be saved, but salvation is a product of choice. God could say you should love one another, but loving one another is a byproduct of choice. So Peter is telling these people what they are to be. They are to be living stones. They are to be built up as a spiritual house. They are to be a holy priesthood. They are to be spiritual sacrifices that is acceptable to the Lord. But all these things that God is trying to get his people to do is really a byproduct of choice. The choices we make really does reveal so much about us in regard to our faith. Choice reveals how much we trust God. Choice reveals how much we love God. Choice reveals how much we're willing to follow God. Choice reveals personal choice. So the first choice that we should make is us embracing and considering ourselves to be living stones. So Peter wrote here that Jesus also are living stones. What does it mean to be a living stone? You really don't come across living stones. Have you ever held a living stone? Have you ever come across a living stone? No, we don't have living stones in life, but yet in the Bible, there's many instances of there being types symbolic of life coming out of a stone, salvation coming out of a stone. Another example is evil was killed with a stone. Most of us, I believe, knows the story of David and Goliath, 16-year-old boy. Went to battle against a giant 9-10-foot man. David picked up 5 stones, only used 1 stone, put it in a sling, swung that thing around, laid the stone in between the helmet and the face guard of this warrior, sunk it in between his eyes, knocked him